What is Elon Musk's next step? In this video, we will present some very important details about why the auto industry should pay very close attention to the mining industry. Or maybe even get into mining. Prototypes are relatively easy and manufacturing is usually underrated, however supply chain and raw materials are the key challenges companies are facing. Let's hear what Elon Musk has to say about this.
Consumer, it's actually really hard to make cars. So the whole supply chain and production process is extremely difficult. As you probably heard me say before, it's like, relatively speaking, making a prototype is easy. We can make a prototype of practically anything in 6 months with maybe 100 people, but to get that to volume production and try to have the price be as affordable as possible, and have sort of positive gross margins, so you're not operating at a loss. That takes 10,000 people at least 2 years, and that's like 2 to 3 times faster than the rest of industry. So it's vastly more difficult to manufacture than to create prototypes. It's not even remotely comparable. In general, I think manufacturing is underrated. Manufacturing used to be really cool in the US, and then became, for some reason, I think, kind of uncool for quite a long time. And we're just a lot of talented people went in other directions. But I sure hope a lot more talented people get into manufacturing, because that's where you're making the products that people use and enjoy. I could just generally think, this is both a compliment and a criticism, but there are too many smart Americans in finance and law. So I'm saying they're smart, but I'm also saying that could they consider doing manufacturing instead of finance or law?
Yeah.
Because I think we have probably too many lawyers in the United States, and too many people in finance, and their talents would just be much better applied to manufacturing. So
yeah,
making stuff people need and love.
What is the next step in EV technology that would make it even friendlier to the environment and better for the economy? What do you think that is?
I think it's really just about scaling up. So can we make enough? Right now, we cannot make enough cars to satisfy demand. So we got to grow production capacity, and looking ahead, we need to make sure that, like I said, the raw materials from a mining and refining standpoint are there to support the future growth. And the limiting factor is the rate at which we can increase battery production.
After hearing this and considering the raw material challenges EV industry is experiencing, is Tesla going to get into mining? Let's hear.
So you've said before that Tesla might go into the mining industry. Is this something you're still considering? Is it on the table, or just in the back of your mind?
Well, we don't want to go into the mining industry or the sort of refining industry for because the limitation, I think, is actually more. For example, with lithium, it's more lithium refinement than it is the actual mining. So you've got to take the ore that contains lithium, and you've got to refine it and get it to battery grade lithium hydroxide or lithium carbonate, and it has to be extremely pure. Otherwise, you can have a breakdown in the cell. You can't have impurities in the cell because it will cause the cell to fail. So the challenge with a lot of the ingredients into lithium-ion batteries is the processing. It's not the fundamental rarity of lithium. Lithium is very common. It's one of the most common elements on Earth. But you've got to turn it into battery grade lithium, and that's so that all of that processing, that's where the choke point is. I hope we do not need to get into the mining business.